Hello and welcome to everyone in our English class. Today we will discuss about our English practicum, and the details of your English practicum I have provided to you are much earlier. But once again in this virtual classroom, we will discuss about your English practicum for the sake of our new students in our course. So let us move to our English practicum classroom. Now you can see on your screen the blackboard. So here we will discuss about the proper arrangement of your English practicum, that what the particular sequence you have to follow in your English practicum. So at first you have to make the cover page, you have to make the cover page. And the format of your cover page will be provided to you later either from the college or from me. And the second thing is that quotation, And the second part is that you have to make a quotation from a very well-known literary figure, like you have Rabindranath Tagore, you have William Shakespeare, you have Francis Bacon, you have Swami Vivekananda also. Now the third thing is that you have to make the acknowledgement. And the format of the acknowledgement, which is also provided to you much earlier. And now the fourth thing is that you have to prepare a proper index. Now the question is that how you will make a index like this. Say here will be the serial number, and in this box you have to write the contents. In this box there will be page number. So at first in your index you have to write the introduction. And the page number also. So at first we have to write the introduction, then the 5 practicums, like you have acquainted with it before, like the language games, the activity sheet, the creative writing, listening and speaking activity, and ultimately it is project. And the last of your index you have to write the conclusion of your assignment. And one thing that you must have to remember, that you have to write the bibliography at the last of your practicum, but you never mention the name of bibliography into your index. Now, ultimately, we will move to the slide for better understanding. Okay, so now we have our English practicum before us. You can see the syllabus of your English practicum, and here it is mentioned the name of language games at first, then you have activity sheet which you have to prepare, and then you have creative writing, and the fourth point is listening and speaking activities, and ultimately you have project. Now one by one we will know all the practicums here. So at first you will know the language games, And for this language games, you know that you have to write from your textbook that was penned by Dr. Malandra Dinda from page number 299 to 305. So you have to write from there for your first practicum, that is language games. Now you have to know the necessary points of your first practicum, that is language games. Actually, we have to make the atmosphere of our learners very comfortable. And if we put the atmosphere, or if we create the atmosphere of learning of our learners very much in a playful way, then the learners will be very spontaneous and they can learn easily any language, basically here English language. And out of their playful method, out of their spontaneity, they can easily learn the English language, its function, its grammatical portion, or its syntax, what to say. So it is all about the necessary things of your first practicum, that is language games. Now it is about the activity sheet. In your activity sheet, you have to write uh, as like same before, the page number 306 to 307. Now we have to know the significant part or the necessary part of this kind of activity. Actually, after making a proper classroom, or after making a completion of a particular lesson, we have to provide a activity sheet like a worksheet to our learners so that they can fill it up and we can understand that how far they can understand or not. So here is the significant part or the important part of making our activity sheet. Now it is creative writing. I have already told you that we have to in our previous class I have already told you that we should make our learning very much burden free. If the learning will be burden free, then the learners will free very comfortable or will free very easy with this kind of method of language learning. And here we have to make them very creative. So to make them creative, at first we here today, the would-be teachers who can say, or the trainee teachers we can say, we have to know that how can we be very much creative for our own sake. So that is the significant part of your creative writing here. That is your practicum, third practicum. So in your third practicum, first you have to give a very clear assumption of creative writing. Then you have to define the creative writing, and then you have to write the classification of creative writing. So what is creative writing? In a word, we can say when we write of our own creativity, of our own originality, or out of our own spontaneity, in a very spontaneous manner, when we can write, it is called creative writing. And the types of creative writing, there are poetry, which you have made your own. You have made your own songs, you have your memoirs, you have your plays, speeches, personal essays, movie or television scripts, fiction. And in kind of fiction, there is novels and also the short stories. So these are all the types or classification of creative writing. And out of all that, you have to write one among them. And in making your creativity, if you write a memoir like a visit to Murshidabad or a visit to a historical place, then a picture of that particular place will have to attached to your left side of your exercise book or your practicum. Now let us move to the fourth practicum, that is listening and speaking activity. Here I only want to say to follow the instructions which I have already provided you through WhatsApp. The formats has already been given, and here just you have to copy from there. And now we have to know the four skills. You know, the four skills which is basically related to our English language, or to learning any kind of language, that are listening, speaking, reading and writing. And listening and reading are called actually receptive skill, because through this skill we just receive or acquire or gain some kind of data or knowledges or information. Likewise, the speaking and writing are called actually productive skill, because through this kind of skill we just produce or we just expose or express our own thoughts, our own likings, dislikings, our own expressions, emotions, like that. So here are all those four activities: listening, speaking, reading and writing. And out of that four activities, you have to make a practicum on listening and speaking activity. So that is all about your fourth practicum. Now let us move to the last practicum, that is project. In project, we know all that what is project. Project is the basic thing which actually we all have to know for our own sake, for our own mind making, for making us creative, or for making us knowledgeable. So in writing your project, first you have to write that what is project, the objectives of project, and the methodology of project, and ultimately you have to write a biography here. And in your biography you can choose any literary figure like William Shakespeare, William Wordsworth, Lord Byron, Percy Bysshe Shelley, John Keats. From our Indian English literature, you can also write from there like R.K. Naran, Anita Desai, Sarojini Naidu, Rabindranath Tagore, many like those figures, those literary figures. So these are all about your English practicum. Hope you can understand well, and the data of all those practicums I have provided you before, uh, much earlier, and once again after this class I will provide you all the data of your practicum through WhatsApp. So thank you very much. This is all about your English practicum class, and we will meet in the next class tomorrow. So till then, happy learning and stay happy. Thank you very much.